Welcome to the big show.
He could go all the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rundown Extra Point, and I am back from vacation. My buddy
Thank
Chris
God.
held it down for us twice last week. Him and Commissioner Duncan filled in for me while I was gone in California visiting my mom and my cousins who I haven't seen in 28 years. But I am back, and I'm glad to be back because that was a long trip, I tell you. How you doing tonight, Chris?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm another year older. My birthday was yesterday.
That's right. Happy birthday again.
Good
We'll
old 41 years young. But, man,
you're a baby.
glad to have you back, Brien, man. I missed you, buddy. I know you had to go see.
You too.
I know you had to go see moms and, check out for Mother's Day, and that's okay. Me and Dunk tried to hold it down as much as possible as we could, but, the show doesn't go as smooth and as savvy as it does without you. So I'm glad I got my sidekick back.
And it is week 4 preview this week, or tonight is week 4 preview of the 2025 PFA season. Chris, we're already in week 4. That means halfway for 2A. Their season is halfway over. Almost over. And in a couple more weeks, they'll be halfway through the 3A. And Gary Young said, "Happy birthday again."
Thanks,
you,
Gary.
Sir.
Appreciate it, man.
But yeah, we got a lot of things to talk about tonight. We got a week 4 preview. We got some new rankings. We got plays of the week. That's right.
Yeah.
Not plays of the week. Not just top plays. We're not going to call them plays of the week.
Top plays.
Because
you guys are pretty slow getting them in. So we need to speed it up a little bit. We need to speed it up a little bit so we can get them in. So that way we can have plays of the week instead of just top plays. Okay. So again, Like I told you on the previous show, send it to my inbox, Chris Cousins, or you can send it to Brien Mitchell, or you can send it to the Rundown's inbox on Messenger. Or if you have a bigger file, you can send it to our WhatsApp, which has a number attached to it on our Facebook page. You can send it there, or you can send it to PFA, the Rundown Podcast @gmail.com. Again, those are 3 ways you can send it. You can send it to our inboxes here on Facebook Messenger via mine, Brian's, or the show's, the Rundown, or you can send it via the WhatsApp, which the link is on our page, or you can send it via Gmail, PFA, the Rundown Podcast @gmail.com. Okay, get those plays in. Okay,
I still have some in my mailbox to go through and add to another play of the top plays. So the more you get in, the more plays there'll be on each episode. So as always, the Rundown is powered by the PFA. For the players, by the players. And like I said, we're in week 4. We got some big matchups. And
now, Brian, before we go for, I know you weren't here for week 3, but I know you can't help yourself. You still kept a little ear, a little to the street a little bit.
When my wife wasn't looking, yes,
you were sneaking a little. What did you think? Let me just get your feedback on what happened in week 3 with some of the games. We almost went undefeated. Let's just throw that out there too. We almost went undefeated. Shout out to the Bills for messing that up.
I know we went. We went 5-1 in our picks, but we'll talk about that. Oh well, it's new picks, so yeah, we went 5-1 in those picks. The Bills lost in overtime, so that
Okay.
that messed our record up. But hey, it happens, and lots of stuff happened last week, man. I can't even keep up with it all. Um, some of the stuff I don't even want to talk about because it's just we just won't go there. It's a new week, new games. Um, yeah, what'd you think about last week?
Last week was crazy. Last week was crazy. And let me say this while I'm on that note of talking about last week's craziness. And I know me and Brian say this a lot, and we say it all the time. If you don't hear it from myself or the man to my left or my right, whichever way your phone is going, it's not true. Okay.
It's not a league source unless you hear from us or
We
Commissioner
are the
John.
only league. We are the only league sources. That's why we have this show. That's why we do this. We are the only league sources. So anybody says that they have they heard from a league source or anything like that, they haven't
It's
talked to me or Brian.
bullshit. Bullshit.
They haven't talked to me or Brian, and they haven't talked to anybody in the front office. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. And that's for any kind of content creator that you
Yeah.
see on the internet. If it hasn't come out of this horse's mouth or Brian's, hey, don't think about it.
Don't believe
It's
everything
what
you
you
see
call
on
the
the
rumor.
internet.
It's what you call the rumor mill. Okay, the shade room, whatever you want to call it. People say a lot of things, but they don't know what's going on. Okay,
Yeah.
but I will say this: if you haven't already, so you can keep up to date, please subscribe to the Facebook Rundown page, the Instagram Rundown page. We are also on X. We're also on TikTok. We're also on Spotify. We are pretty much on most of the top 5 platforms that you can have a social media account on. So please
Mhm.
add the Rundown to your list. We're also on YouTube as well, our YouTube channel. Please go there. That's where we're going to be putting some of these top plays. We also have some things coming up, especially in June. I've talked to the commish about putting another camera on himself for the Bills against the Baltimore Lightning game that's going to be in Baltimore. He's going to be flying in for that. So he's going to be doing another day in the life of the commish for us. And all that stuff is going to be on YouTube. So you definitely want to log in and tap in over there and get on that. And if you're watching this right now, I want to say thank you, first of all. And then I want to say share the live. Okay. Don't let this information just be for yourself. All right. Share it. Shout out to Grindhard, doing a great job over there with the I want to say it correctly. Is it the MFL now? Or the MD?
MDFL.
Okay, MDFL.
MDFL.
He's doing great things over
Midwest
there. I like the
Developmental Football League.
promotion. Yeah, I like the promotion and everything he's got going over there, and I love the show. Shout out to our affiliates too: East Coast Soccer Room, National Players Association. Am I missing anybody, Brian? Am I missing?
Oh no, that's
That pretty much wraps
yeah,
it up. Okay,
yeah.
but yeah, shout out to them. Make sure you check out those lives, and also, I do want to bring this up just because a lot of people have a lot of suggestions, and we do like to listen to our rundown family, our rundowners, as I call you guys. But the reason why the show is on Thursdays and Sundays is because usually on Fridays, guys, I'm traveling. You guys wanted me to be at these games, which means I have to usually travel on a Friday, to make sure I'm there and be able to be prepped for the game that's on Saturday. I don't like driving early in the morning. That's not my thing. Even when I was playing, I like to get there a little. I like to get there the day before.
Right.
So I can get
Unwind a
some
little
good,
bit.
yeah, get some good
Prepare.
sleep, unwind. Take the day at full tilt. So that is the reason why the show is not on Fridays. Also, it's also because again, one of our affiliates, National Players Association, usually has GOAT Talk on Fridays. We don't like to step on our friends' toes. We want everybody to be able to get as many views just like we do. So we compromise. That's what affiliates are about. So he usually has his show on Fridays, which he has a show tomorrow. Smooth has a show tomorrow at 7 p.m. So we give him that. We converse with one another. So that again is why we don't do the show. We do the show on the days that we do, because our other affiliates have shows on those different days. Also, almost forgot, cannot not shout out Racing and their media, because they do their shows on Wednesdays. Okay, so you haven't seen the Racing Roundup, Raiders Roundup, I believe it's called. It's on YouTube on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. All right, so make sure you go check that out on Wednesdays on YouTube. So everybody can make sure they get to see everybody's show. You don't have to fight over us, okay? I know you like to hear my voice, hear Brian's voice, hear us argue with you guys or whatever, but we want to give ample time for everybody, okay? Everybody loves everybody here in pro advancement football. All right. So that's my spill on that. Brian, what's up?
Grindhard said Duncan almost took my job.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, numbers were high, but again, it's the pizzazz that Brian comes with the
Can't
technical
do all.
part.
You can't pull the strings on
You can't.
Facebook
Yeah,
Live.
I needed the puppet master was on vacation. Okay, the puppet master was on vacation. Me and Duncan talk now. Okay, we definitely don't have that problem. We have the gift of gab. All right,
Right.
that's for sure. But when it comes to the technical aspects, I tell you all, Brian's the guy. Okay, Brian is the man.
E-Man's Himothy said, "Do you all do things the PAFL interviews, game talks? Just wondering. At the moment, we do not. During the off season, we do other stuff. We talk to other leagues and other players, but during the PFA season, we normally stick to the PFA stuff.
Now, if you happen to play a PFA team, then that is where East Coast Locker Room. If you happen to play a PFA team, then yes, we would bring a coach or bring a player on, because at that point we're talking about the game that's happening with one of our teams. But yes, again, the PFA the rundown is powered by the PFA. So we cover all the PFA teams and their games. So if you're on the outside looking in, what you should do is tell your upper management, hey, we want to play one of those PFA teams, because that's what gets you on the rundown.
If Chris and I decide in the future to go national, then do one show a week nationally, then we would definitely cover everything. It just right now we just don't have time. Two nights a week is a lot right now, so it's a lot of prepping and stuff like that. But
Jermaine's my guy over there at the PAFL. Shout out to him. So nothing but love. Nothing but love from over here. Shout out to TriPoint. Shout out to Slash being an independent. Also the BCFL. Love all the leagues that work with us, and GMFC. I'm getting tongue tied here. GMFC. Shout out to them as well too. So it's nothing but love. But Charles Scott, I see you commenting. Shout out to them Broncos. But it's just that we have to focus. Focus on our league. But if you happen so much to play a game, like for instance, we got a game coming up this week when we get into previews, Ravens against the Rapids. We're going to talk about you guys. So there's no harm and no foul of tuning into the rundown, even if your team is not a part of the PFA. You never know. I love when the chat is bumping. Also, if you're in the chat right now, please represent yourself, represent your team. Like my man D Smooth always says, put your name, your number, position, who you with. That way we can give you a shout out. That way we can actually see who's in here, just in case we got some questions. Sometimes me and Brian don't know everything, and we're not going to actually claim that we do. So if we see you in the chat, we might, ask you a question or two. You can give us an answer. Or if you have questions, make sure you do put them in the chat. That way, towards the end of the show, we can probably answer them if we got some time. And get some feedback from you guys. Me and Brian love talking to you guys in the chat. So talk amongst yourselves, but man, talk to us. We talk back.
Tune in tomorrow, like Detroit Smooth saying, Goat Talk interviews. He's got open spots for tomorrow night. So if you want to get on the show and talk some football with him, National Players Association, hit him up, inbox him on his Facebook. He's got open interview spots for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. He's on Facebook Live, right?
He's on Facebook Live. Now, Smooth, I do got a bone to pick with you, sir. Let me push my glasses up when I say this. I do got a bone to pick with you. The wide receivers rankings just came out this past week, and I'm going to speak up for them because I know they made a post about it. And they might not be here right now, but I didn't see Indy Bison on that list. Okay, I know it said it was a nice, but I didn't see any Indy Bison. Certain Indy Bison, man named Jalen. Just want to throw that out there. But I'm
Jalen Crenshaw.
just saying, didn't see him on there. Now I don't know if he didn't put himself up for nomination or somebody didn't nominate him, but that man's a problem. Okay, that man's a problem. He should be somewhere on that
You'll
list.
see later. You'll see later when we do a new feature. And also, Smooth, if you need stats or whatever, you can check out the PFA
man.
website at www.playerfootballassociation.com. All the stats are up to date. Teams have been doing really good, turning them in
One
to
team
me.
in particular.
Yeah. I mean, that team will send them to me at halftime. That's how good they are. But we won't brag about that because I don't, I'm happy with the way things are going for the stats. Although sometimes
are they going pretty smooth? I know last year we had they're going pretty smooth this year. We're in week 3, going into week 4, so we're still.
Everybody's caught up. Everybody,
okay.
Well, except for the team that hasn't played a game.
Okay.
Orlocks.
Yeah. I'm glad you did it before I did.
So
need some stats, man.
Yeah, and you got to play a game before they get stats. But hey,
what do we know, Brian? What do we know?
Just giving me some of those vibes. I won't say what kind of vibes, but hey,
do you know? I will have to say this. Do you know that they have? I don't know if you will. I don't want to put it out there like that because I hope everything's working out well and I hope everything is going to be going smooth for them. But I heard, okay, I'm not going to say who I heard from, but I heard that there's a betting war out there right now. If and when, yes, there's a betting war out there. Which week that they go ahead and that happens. So I found that funny. I found that out day before yesterday that there's a little bidding war going on dates when that should happen. But I'm praying that it doesn't. I'm praying that they get everything together and everything runs smoothly. We hate that. So come on, Warlocks.
Get out there on that field. We're rooting for you, man. We're rooting for you. We're going to pay some bills. We'll be right back after this. Oh, I lost Chris. Where'd you go, Chris? I'm not sure what happened to Chris, but let's see if this
This segment is brought to you by Trinity Trifecta, the official uniform provider of PFA teams. Check Trinity Trifecta out for all your sports uniform, athletic apparel, and clothing needs. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook. Trinity Trifecta. Eventually, everything connects.
Yo, what's up? It's the best kept secret. You rocking with the rundown. Y'all keep paying attention. Finish.
And we're back. Sorry for that slight technical difficulty. That one commercial break was old, and those will be changed out this weekend. I promise.
We got some new material.
Got some new
But
material.
before we go on, I want to correct something real quick, Brian, because I know how people can get. Okay. People, the National Players Association rankings are nominations and voted on by the players. So it's not me coming directly at Smooth saying it's his fault. I was just surprised that there were no Indy Bison nominated or voted on by their peers. It was surprising to me. So this so everybody knows, the rankings for the National Players Association are nominees given by the players and are also voted on by the players in that group. So if you think you don't like him, you want to have a say-so, go join his group and state your case for your teammate or player that you think should be on the list. That's all I got to say about that.
As we said, Viking Rider, you didn't miss anything yet because we were just doing our intro and just talking and our normal blabber. Chris was saying how much he missed me.
I did.
Last week when I was on vacation.
See, here comes the magic. Here's the magic. See? It's my puppeteer man right here.
That's right. We will, Duncan. I just didn't get time to put it in. So I'm going to do those on tomorrow and Saturday and get them done for Sunday. We are in week 4. And starting out, someone asked in the chat earlier what was the top game this weekend, and this is one of the ones that I think is going to be a good game. The Racine Raiders.
This is not only the PFA game of the week, this is the national game of the week, for real, to be honest with you. A lot of eyes are going to be on this game.
Question is, Chris, the Racine Raiders only scored 16 points against FCP, a 2A team last week. How do you think they're going to fare against the Cowboys? Are they the same Racine Raiders that we've seen in the past, last year and the year before, or is it something different about them this year?
Now I will say this, Brian. I found this out last week talking when I had Dunk on the show. Did you know that the Illinois Cowboys are only a 2A team?
I did not know that.
Man, I am still mind-boggled, okay? I mean flabbergasted. Because the talent that I saw on that field and the size alone that I saw on that field does not match 2A. And just a little tidbit, the Midwest, the MWFL, their whole league is 2A. So that means the Midwest Renegades are a 2A team too. It's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. But to the game. I definitely saw, again, like I've been saying for a couple weeks. I know people are like, Chris, he's crazy. Doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a goofball. But I've seen some kinks in Superman's armor. Okay. I haven't really seen that I'm the number one team on the field. I haven't seen it in action. I've seen a lot of mistakes. I've seen a lot of confusion, especially when I was watching the FCP game. Interceptions, missed opportunities, and you're going up against a team right now that's very hot. Okay, beat Indy Bison, beat Michigan Bills. This is really the start of their season now. They're on a roll. Been on a roll since they won in nationals and demolished that team. So 2A, 3A, 4A. Hey, I respect that. I respect that. 2A, 3A, 4A, Cowboys and 5. You should have said 2A, 3A, Cowboys and 4 because it's 4 quarters. But I like where you're going. I like where your head's at. But in this instance, sometimes, Brian, it takes steel to sharpen steel. And I feel like Racing, knowing that they're going to have everybody watching this game, and this has to do with rankings as well, as far as national rankings are entailed. Because right now, Racing is the number one team in the nation. Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So, to that point, I feel like Gary Young, Uno, and them boys are going to step up to the plate. And I think they're going to get that dub at home, get some of that home cooking. You know what I mean? Get some of that home cooking in you. Getting a good, nice rest. Because I'm telling you, you're going to be in for a fight against these Cowboys. All right, you're going to be in for a war. But I'm taking Racine in this one. I'm usually I don't want to hang my hat out there too far because Cowboys are on the road. I know Kevin is probably trying to troll me right now, Coach Kevin. Okay, but I'm going to go with Racine on this one. I feel like it's going to be a really tight game. I take Racine because they have a kicker. I'm going to call it close. It's going to be a weird score, so I'm saying like 21. I'm going to say like 21-16, 2016. I'm in that realm.
All I know is it's going to be a good game. And if Racine has to feed those Cowboy players before the game or after the game, they better bring in a big ass truck full of food because those boys. remember what you said, Chris.
The obese package, man.
No and offense, that's how guys.
I don't see how they're 2A. I don't. But go ahead.
I'm going to go against the grain this week, Chris. I'm going to pick the Illinois Cowboys.
Oh, so you're going to do it me? You're going to do it me on me?
I am. I've seen Cowboys play, and they're looking too good for a 2A team, and Racine's looking a little suspect for me so far. And I don't know if it's because of the early start, but you've had 3 games. You should be knocking the rust off by now. Still love Racine, still love them, but I'm going against the grain. I'm going to be the bad guy this week, and I'm going to pick the Cowboys 24-20.
Ooh. I mean, at least we both know it's going to be a close game. At least we can say that. This is not going to be a blowout. This is going to be a great game, especially up front. I did see some, even though in the FCP game, offensively, I didn't see enough. But defensively, I saw a lot from that defensive line. I want to say Haggins, and I don't want to get the other guy's name wrong. It's right. I'm looking right at him. The defensive end who had the incredible sack, tackle for loss. It was like a 10-yard sack he had. Crazy work up front on the D-line. Do an amazing job. So I definitely see there's going to be, some back and forth going in this one. But again, Warlock Stadium, the fans, the crowd, the atmosphere. Racine hasn't been home in 2 weeks. So I'm gonna give it to the Racine Raiders. Uno, don't let me down. Don't let me down, Uno.
Next game we have is the 3-0 Ravens against the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. I don't know their record. I think they played a couple games, but I don't know their record offhand. So, man, the Ravens have got their wheels going, and they're on a roll. They're doing what they normally do. They score more. The last couple of weeks, they've combined almost 100 points. I don't see this changing this week. I'm going with the Ravens to win big again, at least 35-7.
Ooh.
At least 35.
Ooh. That's tough. That's a tough prediction right there. He said 35-7. Well, I can't be too far behind. But I will say this. If you are in the Akron area, first of all, this game is going to be played at Akron U Infocision Stadium. Beautiful stadium in Akron, Ohio. That's number one. Number two, also, if you are in that area, Kai Sanat, everybody knows who Kai is doing his Streamer University this weekend. And guess where he's hosting it, folks? He's hosting it at Akron U. So the chances of him showing up at this game is tremendous. Okay, so I implore you, if you are in the area, if you're in Cleveland, if you're in Lima, if you're in Mansfield, if you're anywhere, Talmadge, if you're in the vicinity, get there. Okay, get to this game. It's going to be a good way for you to get yourself seen, be on YouTube. Maybe meet Kai Sanat, get an autograph, whatever. But he's going to be in the building at the university, so there is a slight chance, okay? There's a slight chance he's going to be coming to the game. With all that being said, I've seen the Rapids. The Rapids have a good team, okay? Especially for a first-year team, they definitely have a good team. Definitely some good players over there. My man Spoonie, my man Dustin Dye, the quarterback, the number 15 at running back, solid. Definitely going to raise eyebrows over there in that 2A division of the PAFL. But Brien, like you said, the wheels are a-churning. The revenge tour has started, and unfortunately, it's rolling through Akron U. I'm taking the 50 boys. I'm putting it back up there. I'm taking the 50 boys for 50. Okay, I know, and this is the thing. This is another thing. I met the defensive coordinators of the Rapids the last time they played Lima. And you know what they said to me? Don't you ever think that somebody can put up more than 14 points on our defense? And you know what I said to him? I said, you might have the appetizer, but the full courses are coming, my boy.
Hey, I don't want to dig up previous things, but Coach Los also said that too.
Just saying. I'm just saying. So, unfortunately, Rapids, my Ravens are finna welcome you to Pro Advancement Football. I got it 50-6.
Woo!
50-6.
Wow.
Okay. The 50 boys put on a big show for Kai Cenat and the crew. 50.
So we can't pick this game because we found out that the Warlocks got to forfeit this game. So unfortunately, they're going to take a 21-0 loss. They were going to take probably a 41-0 loss if they would have played this game. So yeah, we'll move on.
I mean, yeah, we're just gonna move on because I totally agree with you. So we're just gonna move on.
Now the Motor City Rams and the Michigan Bills is a rematch of last year's semifinal game. Bills have been on a little rough patch, man. They're losing some players.
They're close games, man. Losing some close games too.
They've lost a couple of players. I don't know if they're key players. I won't say they are because I don't know. To other PFA teams, a lot of team hopping going on this week, man. That's what I noticed.
Well, I mean, we are at that time, Brian, because rosters close again. If you want to play in the PFA, rosters close as of this Sunday at midnight. That means no bueno, no more. Enough. At 70, everybody's roster is cut off, closed, lock and key. No more additions for the rest of the season. If you don't have what you need, guess what? You ain't got it. You better find it within yourselves. But I will tell you,
70 players on your team, you better
cut it down. You need to cut it.
The Bills let me down last week, man. I ain't gonna lie. That overtime loss messed up my undefeated week of pick'ems. Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
People play. Happens to players, man. It happens to players, brother.
This is a hard game to pick, man. I mean, the Rams are on a win streak, 3-0, defending champs. Bills are looking for that win, man. I think they're looking for that get back win from last year. Man, I don't know.
I'm not giving you any help on this one. I feel like I gave you a lot of help last week. That's why I got you going first this week. I got you going first this week because I felt like we both went 5-1. I felt like you was piggybacking my picks, Brian.
I was not piggybacking. I said my picks first in the chat before you even did yours. So whatever. I'm sticking with the Bills.
You still believe?
I still believe. If it happens again this week, I will be a non-believer.
I like what you did there.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be another close game. Please, I don't hope it's not overtime. But I'll go.
Give me a score, man.
Hang on, I gotta write this down.
Fred, go up. Fred finally in the building. He said he got the Bills by 5.
21-16.
21-16?
Yeah.
21-16 Bills.
It's probably not even freaking close, but hey.
This is going to be you're absolutely right when you say this is a tough pick 'em. Okay? This is a rematch of the semifinal game last year. Both these teams played a hard-fought game then. New additions have been added to the team since then on both sides. This is also going to be Future's second game back. He didn't even play. He didn't even play in last year's game, and so this is really tough. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know, my heart is always with Bills Mafia. I love what Mikey and them boys are doing over there. Chauncey and the crew leading that offense, defense going crazy. Mike Anderson at defensive end, going crazy. But Newsom and them boys, BTA, it's been shaky. Okay, it's been shaky on offense. But one thing I can say, that defense always shows up. That defense always shows up with Takari and them boys up front. That front seven, they gets to work and it gets going. So I'm going to take BTA. I'm going to take BTA in this one. I'm going to take the Rams in a dog fight, mind you. In a dog fight, I'm going to take them 24-18. 24-18.
Right. And this is the second game of a doubleheader. That first game at Monroe High School, there'll be a doubleheader Saturday. Starts at 4 o'clock. Is the Flag City Phantoms from the PFA versus the Glass City Tigers out of the PAFL. And
this is the battle of I-75.
Be in Monroe. At the time, I made these graphics, and I have it as War Memorial Stadium, so that's not correct. So,
Fred said I'm smoking something. No, Fred, I'm absolutely fine.
Talking about last week's Flag City and Racine game gives me a damn headache. Highly disappointed. And I don't know if I want to pick them this week, man. I think I don't want to pick them. I'm not even sure how I feel about that.
Hey, Cody said, "Go ahead and roast FCP's offense." Hey, Cody, I wouldn't be able to roast it if it was good. I mean, do you blame me for roasting it from what I saw? I saw offensive linemen not blocking. I saw a quarterback running like a chicken with his head cut off for his life. Okay. I can only report what I see.
Cody, we appreciate you tuning into the show, but we've been hearing that the FCP offense is going to score more for the last 3 weeks.
And I'm not going to lie to you. This is an opportunity right here. This is a grand – because first of all, listen, you already lost to one PA-failed team in Ohio Broncos. Let's not do it again. And this is the battle for I-75. This is for bragging rights. You are both in primetime location in one another. You see these guys at the supermarket, okay? This is for bragging rights. So this is the time to get that offense together and put up some points. Now, again, I say this about the FCP. That defense, though, it's going to show up. That defense has scored, and I hate to say this, that defense has scored more points than the offense in the last 3 games. It's a fact. They scored 14 points. Offense has put up 0 in the last 3 games. That defense going to show up. So as long as that offense show up a little bit in this game, I'm definitely going to take Flag City in this one. Flag City, do damage, man. Score freaking more. I don't care how you got to do it. Do it within the lines. You know what I'm saying? Do it respectfully. Do it with pride. Do it with passion. But win the game and win big. You are behind a lot right now.
I'm taking St. Rita's for the blind this week in this game. No, I mean, I'm gonna go off the ledge here. when I know I shouldn't, like a crackhead who keeps coming back.
Listen, we both crackheads.
I'm picking Flag City because they're playing Glass City.
It's only one city.
We don't want Glass City to win. We want Flag City to win.
Exactly. PFA, baby.
Flag City
Represent.
is supposed to be a future champion this year. That's what we picked at the beginning of the year. They were going to be champs.
That's Smooth. They are playing at this is a doubleheader game. It's going to be Flag City playing Glass City first at 4 p.m. in I was about to mess it up. In Monroe, Michigan, at the Bills home field. And then the Bills and Rams will play the night game at 7. So it's a doubleheader. First game at 4, second game at 7. So you're getting 2 for the price of 1 in Michigan. You got the one of the biggest battles and probably one of the best rivalries right now in the PFA with the BTA boys against the Bills Mafia. And then you got the battle of I-75, right here, Toledo against, Flag City, Philly Phantoms. So both are going to be good games. Both are definitely going to be bangers to watch. So if you're in the area, make sure you get there. Jay Gaskin, you asked me who I got. I got the Rams in the Bills games. I got the Rams. Newsom, Takari, I swear for Jesus. Miss Francis. Come on. Come on now. Do your boy some justice, okay? Do your boy some justice. I need more points, though. Future, I need more points. Okay, right now, the way the standings are, I know it doesn't matter sometimes as long as you get into the playoffs, that's cool. But no, not from the champion. Not from the champion, okay? I need more points, Future. I know this is your second game back. Your feet starting to get up underneath you, starting to get some continuity with the wide receivers. I need more points, Future. I need more points. Right now, with the rate of records are, we got to go off of points. And right now, it's not looking good for you. I'm just going to give you that little extra preview right now. It's not looking good.
Yeah, because they're like 30-something points behind Racine. And Racine's in 3rd place.
Hey, Smooth, the Bills did get some new recruits, but I tell you, they lost some too, my boy. I ain't gonna put that business out yet. I'll wait till Sunday after the games is played, because I ain't gonna sit there. But they lost some players too, bro. They added some and they lost some. So
what's your score for this game, Chris?
My score for this game, Flag City. Do me a favor, put up 28 points, man. Put up 28. I'll give Glass City 14 just off of GP, just to be a gentleman about the score. But I'm more concerned about FCP. I need 28 points. That's what I need. I need that.
Now this game, Lima didn't let us down last week. They put the whoop on Canton Hurricanes. They shut them down.
Lost to the Hurricanes, Brien. They lost to the Hurricanes, bro. I'm telling you, it'd have been hell in the city. All right, I probably would have went live again just to go on the whole rant of why they shouldn't have lost to the Hurricanes. And that's because I played the Hurricanes, and ever since you know how long ago that was. They ain't never been good. They ain't never been good.
And the Hawks, they went to Indy Bison and they got beat. So this game is one of those teeter-totter games, man. Lima's got that win underneath their belt. They shut them down. Hawks are looking for another win. This could go either way if Lima shows up like they did against the Hurricanes and
true that
plays tough. I feel an upset, man. I feel an upset.
You feeling upset?
I said I feel it. I didn't see I was going for it. I didn't say it.
That's why I missed you, buddy.
Say it.
That's why I missed you, buddy.
I had my fingers crossed, so it doesn't count. I really hope Lima wins this game, but I really want to beat Chris in the pick'ems this year, so I'm gonna have to go with the Hawks. I apologize, Lima, in advance. I'm still rooting for you, man. If you guys upset upset the Hawks, it'll be pandemonium. It'll be pandemonium.
You're willing to take that loss if it happens. Basically, is what you're saying. You're willing to if it happens. Okay.
I got to protect my record, man. I'm trying to protect it a little bit and gain some ground. I'm only like 3 games behind here.
Now, I would agree with you. I would. If the Hawks came in off some big win and they were feeling themselves and everything was great and they were 3-0.
Hey, wait. Before you say what I think you're going to say, Amanda's in the chat. I think she needs to repossess that damn shirt she sent you.
Hey,
Amanda,
she
you
doesn't.
need to repossess that shirt if he says what I think he's going to say.
I told the truth last week, okay? I told the truth last week. I'm going to tell the truth again this week. Now, back to what I was saying. It would be right what you're saying that Lima might get the dub if, like I said, if the Hawks was 3-0, coming off a good win against Indy, feeling themselves, heads high in the sky on cloud 9, but they didn't. They got, and let's be honest, they got that BTA 35-0. So I think in this game, the Hawks are not even more focused, but more alert, and they get back on that winning train. Okay, back on that winning train that they need to be on, and they're going to take out Lima. Now, with me saying that, is Lima going to give them a great game? I do believe so. I do think this is going to be a good game. Lima's definitely going to be able to put up some points against this defense. Okay, they showed that last week by being able to put up almost a 40 ball on the Hurricanes. But again, that's the Hurricanes, man. It's the Hurricanes. This is the Cincinnati Hawks.
It's like playing the Indy Assassins. I mean,
yeah, you got to win. Don't send Mr. Finesse to come repo my shirt. I told the truth, Amanda.
I
can't lie up here.
He changed his mind.
I
had a feeling he was going with Lima.
It goes when it goes, man. But this week, I got y'all. I'm taking the Hawks. I'm taking y'all by 21. Lima, be mad if you want to. Do something about it. But I'm taking you by 21. I got you scoring 30. Okay? You do the math. I got them putting up 30. All right? Hawks by 21. That's all I got to say about that. And listen, Amanda, you know what? After I'm right this week, make sure you send Brien a shirt. After I'm right, just like I was right last week, he needs a shirt now too.
All right. Well, that is all of our games. The Bison are off this week.
Yes, the Bison are taking a little break.
Bison are off. They were supposed to play Kalamazoo, but we all know what happened to Kalamazoo. They're now the Grand Rapids Kalamazoo Titans, whatever.
Surge Protectors.
They're still 0-3. Whatever team they are, they're still 0-3.
Yeah, whatever team they are, they're still 0-3.
We have a new feature on the rundown. Hang on. Let me stop sharing here.
My Puppet Master.
Where'd it go? There we go. So, new segment on the rundown, top plays, and here's our first edition of it.
All that cheating shit you was doing back there. Yeah, boy. Horrible, man. Stop playing dirty.
I like those.
Not bad for
See,
our
guys,
first.
this is why you got to you got to send them in. Okay, like I said, this is the first implication of them. This is what was sent in. Let's start there with that. This is people who listened and paid attention, and this is what got sent in. So if you think you had something better, like I said before, send it in to us. All right, send it in. Do not be shy. Do not be catty. We would like to have more plays so we can have more plays of the week. Okay, and then we can end up possibly I say, dare I say, have a play of the year. Okay, but you got to send them in. You gotta send them in, man. So again, send them to me, send them to Brien, send them to our Facebook Messenger on Messenger, send them to our Gmail, the PFA, the Rundown Podcast at gmail.com. Send it there. Send it to our WhatsApp link that is on our Facebook page if the file is too big. But hey, send it. Okay? If you think you got a top play, man, send the play. All right? Let the people decide. All right? But man, love that, Brien. I'm glad we started that. That looked good. Lima, you were even on there. Did you see the toe touch? Did you see the toe touch? I like that.
Shout out to Taylor Snyder, AJ Snyder's wife, for sending me the footage of Lima, and shout out to Tiggs Visuals for that
shout out
awesome
to Tiggs.
catch, or the video catch of the Bison. And my boy Kevon Anderson started that scuffle and got that fumble, and whoever, I can't think of who ran it back. But
hey, the last hit on that return was crazy. Crazy. Yes, Alan, this is gonna be weekly. So if you got a top play that you feel one of your teammates did in this upcoming 1 week's game, send it in. Okay, don't be shy. Send it in so that it can make the top plays list.
Weekly top plays. It's going to be top plays because we're kind of behind on the plays. So
yeah, people haven't been shuffling them in, but we're going to show them. We committed that we were going to have a top plays list, and dang it, we got a top plays list. All right, so send them in. The more we get, the more we can do this and possibly may call it weekly, but right now it's just top plays.
Yeah, if I can get enough to make them weekly, I will. But it takes a little bit of time to make a clip. So, and we're here at the Rundown. We're all about innovation. So we got another feature that we'll be doing. League leaders. You can see all this on the website, but graphics better. So, and I only got the 3A done this week or today, but we'll have the 2A on Sunday. But for passing yards, you see Montrez Herring of the Bison, 719 yards in 3 games is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
So
okay. Now, granted, this is another reason, Brien. This is another reason why we tell them stats matter. Okay, tell your governing bodies, hey man, get my stats in, get my stats in, get my stats in, because we're gonna be putting up these leaderboards now. We're 4 weeks. We're about to be 4 weeks of games completed in. So it's about time we start showing who's the man. Okay, because that's going to have to do with MVP voting, all pro teams. So get those stats in, franchises. Get them in so we can celebrate these players. And right now, Montrez is killing. He's killing,
leading in rushing and passing, and something else too. Rushing leaders. We got Corey Bridges. Bisons are cleaning up, man. The Indy Bison got some great play. Everybody has good players, no doubt. But Bison.
That offense been clicking. That I can honestly say, out of all the PFA teams, their offense has been clicking the best. Maybe that L against the Cowboys helped. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it helped because their offense has been clicking ever since they took that loss.
I'm missing one graphic for some reason. It's the touchdowns thrown, and Montrez has 10. Actually, I'll look on here because I can look on the website.
Got
too.
10 TDs already. I see some
10 passing
some Racine Raiders on there with some rushing touchdowns. Looks like
Not
they
a lot
spread,
of not a lot of rushing touchdowns so far, man. I mean, it's
which is very, very, we looks like we're getting pass happy over here. But shout out to Mr. Bridges for leading the league right now in 3A with 3 of them things.
and then completion percentage. We got Chauncey Loman of the Bills, Torrance Webster, Sawyer Schick of the Raiders, and then of course Montrez is at 61% in Burgess and Batten and Andre Locke.
I'm definitely surprised at this one, Brian, because Torrance last year's MVP, he's a surgeon when it comes to efficiency. So for him to be in second is not bad, but I did expect him to be first. But to have a Bills quarterback up there is very, very good for them going forward during the season, showing his accuracy and efficiency during the game. So shout out to Chauncey for being the #1 completion percentage leader in 3A. Again,
Montrez has 10 touchdowns. Torrance has 9. Chauncey Loman has 5. Batten has 4. Andre Locke with 2. Future with 2. Antoine Burgess with 1. Quez Hall, I don't even know what team he plays on now. I think he's on the Bills still. I don't know. Sawyer Schick at 1. That's the graphic that was missing. I didn't get them all done yet. We'll have more on Sunday, and then I'll try to get them up to date each week.
Cash, I'm gonna tell you right now, we have been kind of fighting with stats right now with Smith. So
yeah, Raven stats are correct. I just entered them all, so I'm getting what Dave sends me, and I put it in. So
yeah, we can't miss what we don't got. I'll tell you that much. I'm gonna be honest with you, brother.
We heard the same thing last year. People saying they had stats missing, but I didn't get them. But this year, it's on the website. Everything's there.
There. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. We can only report with what we get. So, Cash, I implore you, if you feel like we are, hey, send them in, because this is what we're getting. This is what we get.
If we're missing stats,
trust me, we do want to make sure we get everything right.
I'll be glad to go back and verify stats that I'm missing versus what I got.
Yeah, for sure. We want to make sure we got it right. So if you think we're missing something, by all means, Cash. By all means.
And now to the rankings. Indy Bison, the Michigan Bills are number 5. Motor City Rams are sitting at 4. Racine Raiders at 3. Ravens at 2. They moved up in the rankings. Racine's dropped. And, of course, Indy Bison outscoring their opponents 143-14. Stay at that top spot. And just to preface how the rankings work, it goes by best record. And then if it's 3, everybody has 3-0, then you go to the points.
This is what I was saying. Everybody's 3-0 right now. So when everybody's 3-0, we go to our motto: score more. We go by point differential. Rams, this is where you're killing me, bro. This is where you're killing me. Because yes, that defense is probably maybe the #1 defense in the nation. But when the records are tied, look where you're at, man. Look where you're at. You shouldn't be there. Not my reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. You shouldn't be 4th. You shouldn't.
Cash, I got all the stats from Dave. That's not what I was saying. I'm saying if there's a discrepancy that you guys see on the website versus what it should be, then send it to me and I'll double check it. But I get, just like Grindhard said, if there's, I get the stats from them, I put them in. Now, do I make mistakes sometimes and make it look like someone has 4,000 yards accidentally? Yeah.
Yeah, I've corrected him.
I looked at the screen. I look at the screen a lot, so my eyes go batty. But I I try to put them in accurately. So, like I said, if there's something that you're missing, I'm
Hey
willing to
Mo, you
look and
know,
verify.
hey, me and Brian, we talked about this, didn't we? Mo, I'm not going to say that I don't agree with what you're saying, because I definitely agree that the Bison's top heavy of the top end of their schedule has been a little bit easier than a lot of the other teams. Say the Michigan Bills, their first half of their regular season schedule is very top heavy, playing a lot of harder opponents. So there's still a long season. But the point of the matter is they're getting up points now when they're supposed to against these lesser teams. So then when they play against these teams like a Racing, like a Detroit Ravens, like Motor City Rams, and the games are close, they already have built that equity against the teams they were supposed to demolish. You feel what I'm saying? And again, the Ravens and those teams will do that as well. But it just so happens that the opponents that they have played so far, they've been able to dominate. You can't blame them. They can't blame them for that. We put them in front of them, they knocked them down. It is what it is. Everybody has to do the same thing.
Cash, I think what you're seeing is if I get a stat for a player, I click on that they played that game. So not everybody's going to have, if they don't have a stat, they're not going to show. So if I say for Torrance Webster, every time he's on a stat sheet, I click game started on the little check boxes, and it will show up on his profile. So I'm not sure why you're saying there's stats missing, but I'll go back through it a little bit and I'll double check everything just to make sure on my end.
Hey Mo, score more. I feel you. I'm just telling you how it is. Score more.
So the Bison have their heavy schedule with the second half of the season.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is this the difference? Is this the difference of
Raiders,
how their schedule is? That's all.
They finish out the second half of the season against the Bills, the Raiders, the Renegades, the Dukes, and they finish the season at the Ravens. So their heavy schedule is that's coming up in a couple of weeks.
Hey, Ezra from the Cowboys, my main man. I'm sorry I picked Racine. Brien took you guys though, so don't feel bad. But I picked the Racine Raiders to beat y'all at home, man. If you want to beat a champ, you gotta beat the champ.
The 2A rankings still have the Lima Warriors. That's not even the right ones. That's not even the right one. We're not even going to talk about that right now. Then I don't know how that one ended up on there. I didn't mean to put that one on there, but
what was our score prediction for the game for the Racing? What was my score prediction? And yours too?
21-16, and mine was 24-20 Cowboys.
Close game though, Ezra. Close game. But we won't look at that graphic, but basically we had to do some reconfiguring because of the way the ranking the way the schedules are and the way that their record is. We had to make an exception because the Warlocks haven't played a game. All their games have been forfeits. And
so
if we do it,
it shows on the website that they're ranked number one. They're number one, but they really aren't because
they really aren't. In order for your forfeits to count in this league, you have to have played a game. So with that being said, the Cincinnati Hawks are the number one team right now as it sits in 2A. They are still the number one team. FCP would be your number two team. Then the Lima Warriors, then the Warlocks. Even though by point differential and record, theirs are better than their predecessors, you have to at least play a game in order for your forfeits to count. That's just what it is.
And
So
on the website, it's set up for point differential, so that's the reason why that shows the Warlocks at number 1 or would be first place. But there's no way to change it until they probably lose another game or whatever. But
Haggins, what's up? That's the guy I'm looking for. I need you to be a disruptor on Saturday, my guy. A disruptor, full-fledged, body impaling disruptor. All right, I picked the Raiders to win. Don't let me down, okay? Don't let me down. But yeah, so we just want to put that out there that, again, Cincinnati Hawks, number 1, FCP, number 2, Lima holding it, number 3, Warlocks are number 4 in the 2A rankings. Now, again, and you know what? Let me give some kudos to Lima, okay? This is where you get your kudos at, Lima. You're not that far in point differential away from second place. Record's different. So if you can get your record to match FCP's, your scoring differential is what? Their FCP's what, -12 and they're
-9.
-9. The only reason why we can't count that yet is because their record is better. Okay, so get that record together. You're right in the mix of things and possibly have a chance at being number 2 team. So Lima, there's life, man. There's some life there. Hold on, what? Let me see what Mike said, man. Let me see what Mike said.
Mike, you only got stats for 2 games. You had the first game was a forfeit, remember? So you only got stats for 2 games.
How many forfeits can you give out in the season before I? Hey, Mike, we don't give out too many before we we quick to put a plug over here. So I wouldn't lie to you to say like I ain't gonna hold you. Me speaking personally, I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm not speaking for the league. I'm guessing maybe if it's another one like next week or something, it might be a wrappy. It might be a wrappy. We're not gonna keep doing that, Mike. You know how
wasting time.
You know how we did the Cheetahs last year. We'll cut you short, my boy.
And the Warlocks are looking like Cheetahs 2.0.
Yeah, we don't have time to be wasting people's, time and energy trying to get out there and forfeit games. So we still, like I said, they have a field and everything like that. So that's definitely not the problem. I think they're having some issues as far as players and that sort of thing. So hopefully they get that together and the traveling issues. But I'm waiting to see a game. So
which they knew about the travel was part of it before they even. But hey,
Dunk's talked about it many a times on his lives about know what you're getting yourself into. This is not a poor man's sport. It's a business thing. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. We got any questions? Let me check in the chat,
got any
man.
questions in chat?
See if we got any questions. This is your time to shine, chat. Ask me and Brien some questions you got, man. Ask us, don't ask nothing crazy now. Don't ask nothing crazy. But if you got some questions, we might have some answers. So this is your time to shine, man. Put your questions in the chat, and we'll see what's popping. Give us some of your predictions yourselves. I know we got a couple of them for the games this weekend. Rich said he wants to know our prediction for the Rams-Bills game. I got the Rams, Rich. I got the Rams.
Rich, I took the Bills.
24-18. I got the Rams.
The Bills. Chris took the Rams 24-18. I got the Bills 21-16.
So we got it going to be a close game, but I'm going with the champ. I'm going with the champ. They on the road. But I need them to put some points on the board. I need Future to put some points on the board ASAPly. I know it's his second game back. He's just getting his feet up under him, but I'm going to need that. Luther Holly, I hate to say it, but you smoking that good pack if you think the Rapids is going to beat the Detroit Ravens. No disrespect, but I think everybody, even the people in Zamunda, know that the Ravens are not losing to the Rapids. Okay, y'all
Yeah.
can't handle y'all can't handle Tory Webster. Y'all can't handle Speedy Hannah. I'm sorry. Okay,
Mm-mm.
respectfully. Love what
Change that
Daniel
winning.
Devan is doing over there. Love that you guys are playing at Akron U. Love the media that you guys have and everything. Love the jerseys as well too. But nah, man, you smoking that good pack. That good pack. Win by 7. Hey man.
Smooth said, "Who was your early pick for the PFA MVP?" Well, looking at the stats, Montrez Harrell is one of my top picks right now for 3A. Um, he's almost 400 yards ahead of the next person in yards passing. He's got 10 touchdowns, and he leads the 3A right now in rushing. So
I
Brian's
mean, we
better
went off
case
the
of
stats
due for
now.
the
Yeah,
goes to Lewis.
I would say Montrez with him, but I still like Torrance.
Yeah, Torrance is right there
I
too.
still like Torrance. He was the MVP last year. I still think that, like I said, that those wheels are churning. That offense keeps getting better and scoring more points week after week after week. And they don't call them the 50 boys for nothing. You got to score points for that. And Torrance gets it done. So in the long end, I still got Torrance. My dark horse, though, if I had to say like a dark horse, is Future. Future
Yeah.
is coming off that injury he had last year, early in the season. He's ready to, put people back on notice. And that's why, like I said, this is the second game coming back. I expect a lot out of Future this season, helping out the Rams in that offense to try to get back-to-back championships. But
And you got to
that would be
remember
my dark horse.
the Ravens didn't have that week 1 game, so Torrance wasn't able to play that week 1 game, and a lot of these teams have had 3 games, so full games anyways, and to get those stats going. So it's going to be interesting down the road to see, especially
Yeah.
with the schedule getting a little tougher for the Bison versus I don't know what the schedule is for the Ravens. Hang on, let me look.
Hey, Rich, I seen you. Rich, I believe you made the wide receiver national list. I can't forget that name. Girls love CJ. I remember seeing that on the list. I do. I remember seeing that on the list. You can't forget that. You know what I mean? So congratulations to you for making the National Players Association's top wide receiver list, man. Congratulations to you, man. Yeah, CJ been balling. I caught the first game. That's why, I try. Listen, fellas, I'm not. I don't lie to you when I tell you I spend my Saturdays flipping through streams, and then on Sundays in the mornings I'm watching the games, and then Mondays I'm not gonna lie, I take a break. That's my
Monday
day.
we're off. We're off
Monday
on
we're
Monday.
off.
Yeah.
Okay, and Tuesday I'm back at it again, watching some more film and watching the games that I wasn't able to watch previously. So that's why. So that's why all our PFA teams stream the games so that we can be able to watch them. Do our analysis, see the players, know who they are, and that's why we like for y'all to be on here so we can chat with you. So sometimes we can get you to interview with us. So we can put a name with a face. So we can put you out there. So don't think that we always are going to pick the same people to interview. We see your name pop up a few times as player of the week. And let me say this, Brian, I don't know if you know this, but I like that the teams this year have been doing players of the week themselves. I like that because it helps us know who did they thing as far as how you feel as a franchise. It helps us know that. You know what I mean? So kudos to y'all for doing that. And that also helps us, find some new fresh faces to talk to and to interview. That why, we giving everybody a fair shot, because this is what the platform is made for. It's made to put you guys out there. And that's what, we want to do in the long run, in the long term. So keep balling, man. Keep balling. Now, let me ask you a question, though, Brian, because I did it last week, but you weren't here.
Mm-hmm.
They put me on the hot seat. So now
Uh-oh.
I gotta put you in the same seat.
Uh-oh.
PFA champion prediction. Who do you got winning the 3A?
Whew. Man, I will say that It's a tough choice because right now it's looking the top three teams are what Racine, Indy, and the Ravens and the top four teams. Man, I don't know. That's a tough one. I got to think about that.
They put me on the hot seat, brother. You gotta make a choice. Gotta make
Um,
this goes as extra points towards the pick'ems at the end of the year. This will give you this gives you extra. We'll say they give you an extra 2 wins if you actually pick the champion right. This will give you an extra 2-win bump, a bonus bump, we'll call it.
All right, I'm going to go. I think it's going to be the Ravens.
Okay, I'll give you. You wasn't here when I picked mine. I picked the Ravens too. You wasn't here when I picked mine, so that's fair. I picked the Ravens too. Who you got winning 2-way?
Right now, I'm going to have to go with the Hawks because they're the strongest team out of the 4. FCP, until they prove me wrong, they may be in the championship game, but they won't win it unless they do something to start winning some games. They got 5 weeks to do it.
So we both agree. I guess we both agree this year. Last year we didn't. So this year we both agree on who will win the 3A and the 2-way. So now, fellas, you heard that. If you don't like it, do what we always say, man.
Mike, I figured he was lost without me.
I was lost without him, Mike. I was. It's like having a left hand and not having a right. Okay,
I know.
You need both your hands. All right.
Right.
This is my guy right here. It was great to have Dunk. It was great to have Commissioner Dunk on to give some deeper insight on some situations that usually intel that we're not able to get. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's nothing like having my puppet master right next to me, man. He does his magic with the strings. Alan O'Grady says Cincy Hawks against Lima in the chat. Listen, Lima, you're right there. I just said it. You're right there. Okay, you're
knocking
not
on
far.
the door.
You're knocking on the door. Okay, let's use that momentum. I say this. Even if you lose this week against the Hawks, which I think you will, even if you lose this week, make it a close loss. Score some points. Okay? Because that's going to help you in the long run if you're able to get your record, if your records are tied with the second place team at the end before we go to the playoffs. Then we go to the point differential. And right now, you're only 3 points away from FCP. Their record is just better than yours.
All right, let's look at this schedule for the Lima Warriors.
Let's look at it. Since Grady brought it up, that he thinks they're going to make it to the chip. Let's see who you got left on the table.
I kind of agree. I'm going to bring it up here. Sorry, I can't go full screen on it, but all right. So minus the Cincinnati Hawks game this week.
Yeah. Minus this
that's
loss.
Probably going to be a loss, right?
That's a loss.
Tri-State Longhorns, if you guys lose to the Tri-State Longhorns 2nd year in a row.
You shouldn't have lost last year, okay? Let's make that wrong or right and get that W taken care of. That's a dub right
All right.
there. Okay?
Indy Assassins folded, so
that's a
you guys
dub.
Are playing you guys are playing the Warhawks that weekend now. I didn't change it yet.
Oh, they're playing the Warhawks?
They're playing the Warhawks. Let's not okay. It's not a code red. Ohio Warlocks. If the Warlocks make it to that week, that should definitely be a win.
That should be a win. If they do make
the Lions, that should be a win too. Portsmouth Lions do have a decent team. Not gonna lie, they do got a decent team. That is gonna be a tough win for them, almost like the Tuscaroras Warrior game. So Portsmouth Lions do have a decent, but again, you still have a chance to possibly win out. I ain't gonna lie, Circle City is gonna be a hard team. Circle City is definitely gonna be a hard team to beat. Not even gonna lie. So you take in that's like four games left. Is that 4 games? So you got a possibility of probably going 2-2. You know what I mean? 2-2. You get lucky, you go 3-1. You know what I'm saying? That's a hell of a season. 4-5 or 4 and 5-4, 4-5, or no, 5-3, 4-3,
Yeah.
or 4-4, somewhere around
So
there.
Mike said, Chris, I said Racine. You did say Racine wouldn't score 40. And I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I'm able to admit when I'm wrong. That defense for Flag City is definitely real. I just need y'all to tap into the offense. The offense. Okay. Defense is real. Okay. Drizzy back there, Red doing this thing up front. The defense is really what's been keeping y'all in the games. But not being able to score an offensive point in 3 games is not going to cut it here. And you know that. I need that to change, okay? I need points on the board. I took you this week for the win. I said I'm getting 28 out the offense, so now prove me wrong. Score 40. I don't mind being wrong, okay?
Well, that is all for us tonight. We'll be back Sunday at 5 o'clock for the regular rundown show with the Week 4 recap. Yeah, all that and more on Sunday. Make sure you catch us on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, Facebook. And I lost Chris again. I think he got done early at the show. Forgot we were still going live. But anyways, we appreciate everybody joining in tonight. Shout out to all the people in the chat who commented and was interacting with us. We always love that. And hope everybody has a rest of a good week. Everybody stay safe and travel safe when you're going this weekend to the games. For Chris Cousins, I'm Brien Mitchum. You've been watching The Rundown.